Hello, this is Alex Yao with Remax Select Properties.
And I'm Chris Cornborough, Senior Mortgage Consultant with Forefront Mortgages.
And this is your market update for September 2020.
Alex, what's happening in the market this last month or so?
Well, it's really interesting because, so here are some of the stats, okay? So single family detached homes in Vancouver East went down 0.2% in price. Vancouver West was on par, it was at 0%. Townhomes went up. East side went up 2.5% and west side went up 0.1%. So pretty much on par as well. Apartments, you're looking at Vancouver East going down 0.7% in price and Vancouver West going down 2.2% in price. So a lot of people are saying, how busy the market is, and but the numbers are not really supporting the perceived activity.
And this is month over month. So
month over month, yes.
So August to September.
Yeah.
So not much in the way of movement, but just not much in the way of upward movement.
Right.
Either right. Yeah.
August has been really busy.
Yeah.
And September, I think the buyers are still there.
Yeah.
But like we talked about last month, I think it's the supply.
More people listing?
Yeah. A lot more listings. So for example, downtown Vancouver, listings inventory went up 6% over September.
Interesting.
From August.
Yeah.
Vancouver West Side single detached homes went up 2%. Vancouver West Side, the condos and townhomes went up 10%.
Wow.
These are all supply.
Interesting.
Vancouver East Side single detached homes went up 3%. Vancouver East Side condos and townhomes went up 7%. So
interesting.
A lot of supply coming out here.
I always thought with back to school or however partially back to school with COVID, et cetera, that people might start listening again once they get back into more of a routine, perhaps, and the rates are still low.
Yeah.
And I wonder if people are having kind of like a FOMO of they're reading and seeing all the activity.
Right.
Maybe it is time if you wanted to see if your place would sell. Would this be kind of like those type of people listening just to maybe not serious sellers, if that makes sense?
There are some. I'm personally seeing a lot of people that, these are people that's looking to retire. These are people that's going to be, moving away.
I understand.
Or like we said in the last month, still there are a lot of families looking for, bigger space.
Absolutely.
And people that's working from home. So you see a lot of townhomes selling well.
Yeah.
And typically they have, yards, they have floors, they have easy entry from the ground floor.
Yeah, no elevators, I guess. That's important for COVID as well, right?
Yeah. So people want their own space these days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
price-wise though, because of the supply, it's been kind of hindered.
Kind of a zero-sum.
Overall. Overall.
Yeah.
Downtown is getting hit pretty bad.
Interesting.
Is what we've been seeing.
Could be some good opportunity, maybe?
Maybe. It depends on what the next year and the year after is going to be like, right? If this becomes a permanent trend, people wanting more space and so forth.
I hope that 2020 is not a permanent trend of
how
the rest of our lives are going to be lived. Believe me, but anyway.
No. It's unfortunately it's one of those years that we wish that we could just chalk off. So downtown wise, people aren't going out as much. Convenience doesn't really sell them anymore.
Yeah, makes sense.
And downtown condos are really tight. And buildings have a lot of units in them, and they're all sharing elevators, sharing common areas.
Totally.
So a lot of people are trying to move out of it.
Yep.
And so downtown, for example, Cole Harbour is getting hit really bad. The sales ratio last month was 10%.
Wow.
And overall downtown, including Yaletown, West End and all that, it's 17%.
I guess if you're going to buy, I always thought that Cole Harbour was pretty expensive.
It is.
You get the nice 3 bedrooms over the water there, it's beautiful, but that type of clientele seemed to be more like offshore affluent, and maybe they're just saying we're good.
Yeah.
And you can buy a house for probably the same price as some of those condos, right?
And it could be. I think all these higher price ranged areas, or West Side over 3.5, East Side over 2.5, condos over $2 million, and these are the ones that's not really moving.
Totally.
And I think if we have any buyers that's looking for things like that, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, we're seeing our buyers are very qualified people are, I would say in the last couple weeks, a lot more pre-approvals, especially from folks that we didn't hear from for the last year. They seem to be, okay, you know what? I'm confident enough, my employment is stable, I've got good money in the bank. They're aggressively shopping, but they're also, when I'm seeing offers made, there's subjects, there's lots of time to do your due diligence. The lenders have been busy, but so, you know, the turnaround time for a file is usually 2 or 3 days. Some lenders are taking a week, some are taking a day. Like, it's a real mixed bag right now, especially with the rates being so low. And there's a lot of mortgages maturing. So all that for us has been busy, but it is nice to see buyers. There seem to be more people looking in the fall, certainly. And I hope that will translate into maybe some price movement, but if not, I think people are still, there seems to be enough choice to choose from. In terms of, like, you know, do I go to Mount Pleasant? Do I go downtown? Like, a lot of people are taking the time to shop areas, right? And even out in the valley, it seems you know, busy as well.
And all my buyers they're looking for, you know, a place where their kids could play hockey on the streets. You know, it's kind of like how we grew up.
100%.
You know, I kind of miss that too. It's kind of hard to find in Vancouver neighborhoods these days.
I'm thinking of was it Wayne's World with the goalie car. Yeah, I hear you.
We used to play hockey, you know, just in front of the house, and then when a car comes by, we'll move the net. You know, it's hard to find those neighborhoods now, and I think people are kind of moving out of Vancouver to look for that, not necessarily because of price, but because of lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of buyers these days are very lifestyle dependent in their choices.
And I guess working from home, if that's what you're going to do, you don't have to be downtown. You don't have to be nearby transportation. You can sit on your laptop, you know, in a pair of shorts and a collared shirt, and dial into Zoom meetings, and you're good to go. And you can do that from anywhere. So,
But again, you need the space at home to do that without the kids running around.
100%. I think we've all been on those Zoom calls with the distractions.
So overall, I think the market's kind of getting balanced now. This month, I mean, kids are going back to school. Unfortunately, you know, we're seeing on the news that there are some outbreaks and so forth. So hope everybody stays safe. I mean, it is a time when kids are going back to school. Parents are, you know, are working a lot more because the kids are away. And so typically at this time we see a little less activity in the shoulder season before it really picks up again for the fall.
I think people we need to get into a rhythm. Like, we need stability. I think as humans and as people in general, you kind of want to know what you're doing. Like, you got to plan ahead. And I think with this whole school stop-start, COVID, or is there going to be a second wave? Like, maybe if we get into that in the fall and there's a little bit more of a silver lining to everything, then you might see it pick up again. You might see people moving to Vancouver. Amazon's hiring 5,000 people in Vancouver. That's probably good news for at least some of the market, I would suspect, depending on how those jobs are paid. So there's lots of positive things to focus on. Rates are low. We have a U.S. election in November. You know, maybe the world will get back to more of a normal kind of trend.
We can hope.
2021, I mean, knock on wood.
But everything's kind of murky right now. So
it is.
It's really hard to tell what next year is going to be like.
100%.
But I mean, if the trend continues, I think next year we might see some price adjustments kind of going down a little bit. Probably more listings and less buyers a little bit next year. But as of right now, I think it's a really balanced market. If you're looking to sell, if you're looking to buy, I mean, this is a great time to go in while having all your bases covered, 100%. Without having to you know, put all the eggs in someone else's basket.
For sure. I think what I tell clients is there's no rush in getting pre-approved, and no harm in getting pre-approved, because the pre-approval, you know, if we do a deal this year or next year, rates are going to be pretty low for probably 2 or 3 years until this mess gets cleaned up economically. You know, if you're not looking now, certainly figure out what you can afford, talk to a realtor, get on a search, and that way if something does come up, there's a little bit of a price anomaly, or there's a condo or building that you like that you drive by all the time, and something does come up, like, at least get prepared. You know, whether you buy now or next year, again, I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference in terms of pricing, but you can take advantage of a little bit of this,
I completely agree.
Tiny drop in prices
Right.
to maybe save a couple $1,000
Right.
or more.
Right. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, this is Alex Yao with RE/MAX Select Properties, and this is Chris Cornborough with Forefront Mortgages, and we'd be happy to help you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well.